Hi everyone and welcome. Recent news has appeared that the forthcoming Acolyte series could be taking from some of the Expanded Universe material. According to the Direct, the Star Wars is officially starting to branch out from the Skywalker saga when it comes to Disney Plus shows such as The Acolyte. It is set 100 years prior to the events of The Phantom Menace and at the end of the High Republic era. Now, I don't know if any of you have been reading the High Republic comics or books, but I'm finding the books quite good. But I'm not really big into the comic side of the High Republic. The series is expected to be centered around the emergence of the dark side of the Force and give readers a glimpse into how the Sith formally returned as a major power in the galaxy. Production on the upcoming series suffered a recent delay until October, and the new expected filming windows is said to last 8 months and wrap up by May 2023. Headland previously stated that the Acolyte would be following in George's footsteps, and that the finished product would be something that viewers could look at and see how the creator's work inspired it. More recently, Headland, who claims to be a massive fan of the franchise, has teased that the project will also be influenced by some of the lesser-known Star Wars stories, particularly from the Expanded Universe. In an interview with Vanity Fair, the Acolyte writer and showrunner talked about the influences for the upcoming series. She noted that there will be some elements present from projects that die-hard fans of the galaxy far away may recognize. A large portion of Star Wars novels and video games take place outside of canon. These projects, such as the Knights of the Old Republic video game and the Darth Bane trilogy of the novels, are formerly known as the Expanded Universe, or EU for short. Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, praised Headland for a gigantic Star Wars fan and confirmed that there will be little bits and pieces from the EU in the Acolyte that haven't been present so far in the on-screen storytelling. She is a gigantic Star Wars fan. She is a gigantic Star Wars fan, says Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. What's wonderful about her is she knows it all. I mean, she read a gazillion books inside the EU. They are little bits and pieces that she is drawing from that no one has explored yet in the on-screen storytelling. Headland came to talk about how it was her idea to have the Acolyte set in a time period outside of the Skywalker saga. She stated that there are currently a lot of other projects that are really relying on legacy characters, and suggested that the best place to explore the Sith would be a little time period that hasn't been put to screen yet. The truth is that I, as a major mega fan, came to them with this idea, and I said, I think the best place to put this is in an era you guys have not quite explored yet. They were very enthusiastic. It wasn't that they didn't want to explore the existing world, but I think they already were because The Mandalorian and a lot of other television projects were really relying on legacy characters. The writer also mentioned how she knew the timeline really well from older video games, that she felt that this story needed to happen when the bad guys are wildly outnumbered. I was coming to as a fan who was much more into the role-playing games that the Extended Universe feeds on. I came hard at it in the 90s and then got introduced to the animated series The Clone Wars. I knew the timeline really well, and I was like, I think if you want to explore Star Wars from the perspective of a bad guys, the best time to do it is when the bad guys are wildly outnumbered, when they actually are essentially the underdogs, for lack of a better word. So this would be that era. Headland was asked about the pressure that comes with a Star Wars project, and when the writer feels that she has a lot of pressure, she is thankful that she isn't dealing with legacy characters which bring too much iconography and intensity. A lot of pressure, but I feel weirdly enormous amounts of freedom because I don't feel like I'm dealing with legacy characters, which is a lot scarier. I mean, you could not pay me enough money to try to be the Luke Skywalker timeline. I'm like, no thank you. It's just intense. There's too much iconography and intensity with those particular characters. According to Headland, the Acolyte will be more interesting because it happens in a timeline we do not know much about. She also added that it allows her to explore an era where the good guys are actually in charge. Whereas I think I'm telling a story that's more about a timeline we don't know much about. Let's hang out there for a little bit and check out the Star Wars looks like when the good guys are actually in charge. What happens? We know what it eventually leads to. So let's explore what are the holes that we can poke into what happened. The major gripes that many Star Wars fans have with the new projects are that they seem to take place around the same time throughout the galaxy's rich history, and they surround the same planets and characters that have been explored over 40 years. Headline continues to reassure fans that Acolyte will finally break free from the mold and will finally center around something that viewers won't be familiar with, even though there will be little bits and pieces taken from the EU that won't be the sole focus of the story, and it will, by the very least, provide some minor Easter eggs for die-hard fans to look for. At the end of the day, it seems as though Headland's Star Wars knowledge spans well over 30 years, and it isn't limited to just the canon events that have been put to screen. She is half as much as of a mega fan as she prides herself to be. The Acolyte will be done respectively and will offer a fresh taste to all Star Wars fans. Well, it certainly will be interesting to see what will be done in this show and who they will add from the Expanded Universe. Leave a comment below on who you think they will use from the EU and hope they will use. I'm excited that they are moving away from the Skywalker saga into something new, but let's hope they do justice. Well, that's it all for now. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and until the next time, may the Force be with you.